I'll go ahead and continuing with from the other video. Now, when drawing a fist, this is also popular, especially like in comic books and whatnot. And so you usually always want to do the wrist at an angle here. So first, let's go ahead and we'll draw on the wrist here, which will just be like that. Now this is all real time, so hopefully I'm going to draw this fast enough. Do the same basic shapes as I showed you before, where you have the one shape here and the other shape here, and then draw in between. And this is going to be where your thumb comes down, like so, and then we'll actually have the other part of the thumb like that. So it's kind of coming down and in, and then you'd have the hand come down to that knuckle, and then this knuckle comes down to about here, and then you come up like that. So that's the basic, that's your basic fist right there. So like I said, that those two ovals is really how you can start off almost any hand, and it really comes in handy. This one's more bunched up, this one's more loose. I didn't want to draw identical, so a little different. Let's see here. I think foreshortening is probably one of the most difficult things when drawing hands, and it doesn't happen too often, but if the hand's coming out at you, you have what's called foreshortening. Notice here my fingers are about, let's see, we'll compare it with the pencil, right? Like this long. But if I have my fingers come towards the camera, there's foreshortening. And now you'll notice that the fingers aren't nearly as long on my pencil, even though technically they are, but see, the pencil also gets foreshortened. So there they look longer, and then they look shorter and shorter and shorter until they're right facing at the camera. Then you can't really see anything but the tips. So when drawing hands foreshorten, let's go ahead and let's say we're going to draw a hand here. This time I'm going to use a different technique when I draw from the bottom of the hand. I'm going to have this circle here and then this circle here, and what this is acting as these two pads here, and then I'm going to have the main square part that comes out, and I'm going to have it angled like we did in the very first video, where it still kind of goes up and down because that angle is going to be retained. And I'm going to add like this. Okay, this is a way to usually start when you want the hand coming out you in foreshorten, is start with something like that, and this is where the fingers are going to come out. You're going to have this first finger come out like this, let's say, and this will be the least foreshortened. And then let's say you have this finger coming out, and I'm not going to have enough room there, maybe actually just barely enough room right there. And then we'll have this finger come out like this, and then finally the pinky. And then we'll have the thumb. It's going to come off. Remember, we have that other shape for the thumb always like that, for it comes off far enough. Actually, come up more like that. There we go. Okay, let's just say something like that for now. You're actually going to end up seeing part of the hand even after I'm going to draw in the basic shape for the fingers here really quick. I say basic too much, huh? I'm going to draw in the fingers, and then that way you can see the skin is going to be, because you're going to be able to see the skin from this side here. Anyway, with foreshortening, you really want to stress and is these lines here. So really stress that line and this line here, because people can identify. Oops, I didn't mean to. I made that look funky. I didn't mean to do that. And this last line is going to be light, and that's really to show that it's at the tip of the finger. And showing all that will just really help show the foreshortened aspect of the finger. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We'll draw that part here, draw this, draw that, and then draw the tip of the finger like that. If you don't draw those meaty parts of the finger, it won't look right. It won't look foreshortened correctly. And I'm going to actually have this kind of coming out like that. And then we'll have this one where it's really showing there. And then we'll have the tip like that. And you can have these little wrinkles. Okay. I know this is really quick and sloppy, but you know, you can, after you have all that, you can then start going in and fixing it up. But it really just helps, and I made the thumb too big, oh well. That's what erasers are for. You can then okay, so the foreshortened fingers are going to be the most difficult to deal with, because without shading sometimes it just really looks funky too. But anyway, with practice it gets better. Then if you want like a really, go ahead and we'll draw the fingers like this. Let's say it's really going to be coming out at you. We'll have the thumb coming off over here like this. Let's see, I'm going to have this bottom part of the hand, and I'm going to actually just do, see, I'm going to just see if this will work out. I'm going to draw the fingers extra big. And this is if the hand was pretty much almost straight at us like that. And actually, that's funky. That wouldn't be there like that. It would actually be dropping down like that. So that would be the hand like pretty much coming just straight at you. And I did it real quick, but it sort of gives the idea, I think. So doing foreshortening is, you know, like even when you do foreshortening with body parts like legs and stuff, you know, if you had the knee that was visible here, let's say like that, then the calf is coming down like so. Then you would have the thigh, and it would be foreshortened to almost like a ball like that, because they're sitting down. So you would just barely see, depending on the foreshortening, you might not even see hardly any of the thigh, just maybe a little bit of the thigh right there behind the knee. That would be if they're like almost directly at you. So foreshortening is important to learn with hands, because sometimes you'll want to have exotic hand placements. But for the most part, you're going to stick to the basics. And when you're drawing hands, that'll be, you know, just simple hand gestures, and like you might even draw from the front. And then I can draw the basic shape here. Let's say it's going to be like so. And then you can have the hand coming off over here. Let's say the thumb. My time's just about to run out. I just wanted to be doing something as the time went. Anyway, so you just want to draw a lot of hands, do a lot of practice, and you'll get it down. Hopefully these videos help. Again, leave comments if you want. Thanks.